Quitting in folks, 30 seconds to showtime. Grab your seat, leave your drinks to the bar. Hold your breath, put your hands together. We present Stanford Bay's finest star, who has danced with the Mayor of Guinea, who has dined with the Queen of Vermont. We trace the voyages of Sinbad, corresponded with the men who can't love us to be. C'est pas la même chose que la vache qui rit. La vache est fort, mon ami.
And hello, everybody. Welcome once again to the Devil's Hour. And I'm thinking we're a little froze up right now.
It looks that way.
It's just being slow. There we are. There we are.
Yay!
Just the internet being the internet.
Oh, internet. Get it together.
So how's everybody doing today? Hello, Hot Tod Lincoln. My name is Jeff with a G, and on Saturdays, we like to slide right into the G spot. And today, and it's always like a nice fun talk. I get to talk with a lot of different people. And today, I get to sit and talk with the lovely and talented St Cyr from the New York area. How are you doing, Kita?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing well, making stuff work. You know how it is.
Mm-hmm. Wheeling and dealing. Got you.
Yeah, making that hustle.
Yep. Living the dream.
I guess it's a dream. Well, in theory, a dream. Yeah.
Sometimes a dream, sometimes a nightmare, or whatever.
It's all. Well, I guess it is kind of that way because I'm always exhausted. So maybe I'm dreaming. I don't know. So today, because I've kind of known about you for a lot longer than we've met because I'm a big fan of like burlesque and stuff like that, and I've been following it for years. And with somebody with having such a prestigious last name, stage name, of course you pop out as far as a name wise. So I've always kind of known. I mean, I haven't known who you are, but I go, oh, Kita St Cyr, like Lily. Interesting. So. I know, like, other people who watch this show go, I just know Sideshow. I want you to talk about burlesque. I originally started doing this show as the G Spot, talking to burlesque performers because they were, like, seriously out of work for doing stuff. And so, like, my first guest was Coco Electric, and then I've talked to several others and stuff like that. So I always love burlesque and everything like that. So, and you're also Sideshow, so I like both. So.
Yeah. I love Coco Electric. She's so great.
She's an amazing person. It's like literally was I got the Tifa Tiddlywinks, also a good friend. She also the one who basically is the founder of the channel here. She goes, "Hey, why don't you do another show? We're not doing anything Monday. Do a Monday show because at the time it was doing Mondays ago." And this was on Monday at like 3:00. And she goes, "Hey, why don't you do a thing?" I go, "Okay, cool. I'll talk to somebody." And literally, I called Coco, and she's here in Austin as well. I go, "Hey, Coco," because they were just starting to do online classes. I go, hey, you want to come on? We'll just talk about stuff. And then we'll talk about the online classes because I've found it's easier to get people to come on shows if I go, hey, I know you have a thing to plug. Why don't you come on and plug it? And then we'll just get drunk on camera. And so far, it's worked. After all, Kita St Cyr is on here right now because we'll be talking about what to plug for her too.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I love that your first guest was Coco Electric. The first time I met her, I was a little younger. This was like 10 years ago, I think. And she had just performed at Burlesque Hall of Fame, and I just landed in Vegas. I missed the first night of shows, and she performed on that first night. And I still had like big dark hair at the time, and we had a very similar look. So I landed, I go to my room, I get dolled up, and I go to the theater, to the casino, and everyone, like, I swear, like 3 people came up to me this night, and they were like, you were so amazing. You just did so great. Your energy is so sensual. And I'm like, thank you. I thought I flew well, too. I literally just got there. I had no idea what they were talking about. And then the next day, I think, was the ribbon cutting at the Burlesque Hall of Fame Museum, where it is now at the end of Fremont Street.
Yeah.
And we ran into each other, and it was like that scene from Full House when Mary-Kate and Ashley see each other. We're like, whoa, we have the same face. It was very cute.
Yeah, I guess you guys. I mean, not reciting. You guys do look kind of similar, and I guess at a glance,
I think when I was younger and thinner and had darker hair, we probably looked a lot more alike. Now I'm like, I don't know. I look like an alien. I don't look like anyone. But
you look like you, which is good.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I literally I known her for years. For people who were watched the Give a Hoot special last week, I happened to be on the show, and I talked about the benefit show, and Coco was my headliner for that show.
Oh, awesome!
She came down. She came when I was living in Houston at the time. She came down because Coco was Heather's favorite burlesque performer. And so I reached out to her because we kind of knew each other because we just kept meeting and stuff. And so she goes, yes, I'll come down. And she came down she asked me questions about what to do. And Heather's grandmother was like a Ziegfeld girl and all this other stuff. So like Coco came down with an specific act. And she got there and started seeing the show start. She goes, no, this act is inappropriate for this thing. And literally off the fly, like ran to her car, grabbed random shit to put on for a costume. Came over here and goes, I want you to play this song instead. And so I had to download the song, something like that, and just like on the fly created a routine.
I love it.
And
she's so talented.
You would never know. Had I not known she did that behind the scenes, you never would have known. So that's just it's just Coco. But yeah, that's why I started. That's initially, but yeah, back to things. Initially, that's why I started doing the G Spot, was just to talk to people who just don't have the voice. They don't have the outlet to talk to people. I found that this sort of show and the shows I do, it's a lot of times it's more about making sure names are still said, so that way they're remembered whenever time can start again, or like whenever we can go and do live real shows again. People will go, oh yeah, I remember seeing such and such at the thing, and so they'll people remember it. That's the idea. I don't expect to get rich. I'm just happy to make sure people remember going, hey, key to St Cyr. So like whenever live stage stuff again, I think I remember watching. I was one of the 6 or 7 live people watching the show, or actually I get a lot of repeat. Really, it's one of those. I don't get a lot of live viewers, although I'm happy that people that do. Thank you, Hot Todd Lincoln and others. But I know I get a lot of repeat. I get a lot. There are a lot of people who watch later. So
yeah, we've got 5 really awesome people watching right now. So
yeah, no, that's really cool.
Yeah,
but I also know that there's probably going to be another 25 or 30 people at least who are going to watch it later. So I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
I've learned to accept that, and that's okay. But if you guys want to tune in live, make sure for Saturdays, come on 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. Get in the chat. We'll chat and talk with you. Otherwise, we're just going to talk about random shit because me and Kita are aficionados of talking about weird and random shit.
Yeah, I love that we've been in happy hours together a couple times, and like when board meetings get off the rails a little bit, we're able to talk about fun, silly stuff. It's like, let's talk burlesque and sideshow and wrestling and nonsense, and it's always a good time. You're fun.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. I try to be. I try not to be at least boring and interesting. I'm varied interests, so that tries to keep me entertaining, at least interesting for at least a little bit. Well, yeah, that's wrestling. Yeah, that was really funny. When I just get because you did a thing through social media talking about some wrestling, and thinking, oh, I went, oh shit, he is into wrestling. That's so cool. It was
yeah.
And so I'm on board. So
you know what random wrestling information I learned today?
What's that?
Eddie Guerrero's daughter is a burlesque performer.
She's also a wrestler, but I didn't know she did burlesque as well.
She is a wrestler, but she performs with the Vaudettes in Chicago under the name Miss Nixon, and
I was not aware of
is
that.
like learning fire eating. Like I saw a video of her practicing fire eating, and she's clearly got some shade flame water torches. Like she's in our scene.
No, she's like it's like legit serious. Not kind of not one of those people go, oh, I can do that. Me, 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 me. It's actually trying to learn. That's
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, no, she's like in it. That's awesome. I'm like, what? Where are you hiding? Come,
Yeah, and
come on.
apparently apparently Shotzi Blackheart from like NXT is also big into weird sideshow shit too. She's doing staple
Oh, hell
trips
yeah.
on NXT. So I was like, what?
I love that. You know, there's I forget which African country it is, but there is a portion of Africa that has a version of wrestling that incorporates their religion, like voodoo, for lack of a better word, called catch fetiche. And part of that performance, a lot of the time, is things like wrestling that ends with psychic surgery, you know? Like wrestling that incorporates things that our sideshow is also incorporating, things that sideshow has evolved from. And
Interesting.
yeah, I'm amazed that that's not more popular here because there's something really fascinating about that.
I don't know. I may have to call Chris Broken to get involved. Like Chris Broken,
Right?
a good friend of mine, who's like, I mean, he was a wrestler for a while as well. And then we talked to
Mhm.
like fucking like the Great Orbox was '90s. He was all over the wrestling scene in the '90s. If you get a chance, watch it. Like, you can catch his videos on YouTube of like Orbax doing crazy stuff like moonsaults into like chairs and shit.
Yeah.
Or like he says, when he was a much younger, thinner, and dumber man, especially when that's how he usually does it.
Love that. Did you happen to watch AEW this week?
No, a lot of times I don't, because I don't have regular TV, and so a lot of times
Mhm.
I'll watch recaps or I'll read recaps, so I still keep track of everything wrestling wise, whether it's AEW, WWE, whatever. Even like some of the weird, like Impact, MLW. I pay attention to
Yeah.
all that shit. So
I
because
I think I'm gonna
what's up?
start watching Impact this week because they're like having a
Because
crossover
of
with
that, yeah.
AEW. Yeah.
Well, my thing's like when I was reading the thing like, yeah, Don Callis shows up, and I was going, Don Callis. Don't get, yeah, he's like one of Chris Jericho's best friends, but I'm still going, dude, he's like one of the heads of talent over at Impact. What the fuck's going on?
That and like Sting is a part of it now. So
I think Sting. I've never been a big Sting guy, so I mean, I'm nothing against him. I think I think he had a cool gimmick and stuff like that, and just like back
Mhm.
when it's just one of those things that go, all right, cool. He's just making the tour. I mean, that's really what he's doing now. He's just going, they're gonna give me
Yeah.
money, so I'm gonna tour all the, eventually
Yeah.
you'll see him on MLW or like back to NWA because Billy Corgan's running that, and
That's so weird. How did Billy Corgan get into wrestling? What's going on?
he has been okay. So he's from Chicago,
Uh-huh.
and Chicago's always been a big wrestling town, and he's always been a big wrestling fan, like forever and ever and ever and ever.
Okay.
Like they're. I mean, back when ECW was a real thing. I used to watch ECW because they do the like 1 o'clock in the morning local feed sort of stuff in the where I
Yeah.
was growing up. Like part of the intro music going in is they would have things like all the other famous people that would be into ECW. He is one of the faces, along with people like Fred Durst and some other people too. So it's one of those. Um, I know for a very last he's been involved since then, but everything I've heard is like since as a kid, he was huge into wrestling. So
That's
and
cute.
just
Okay.
and the fact is, he has the money. He like literally goes, all right, cool. I've made. I mean, he doesn't have to work. I mean, he's like a melancholy, infinite sadness alone will keep him, keep him paid forever.
Yeah.
So I think he just went, all right, cool. I've got everything I need, like money wise. So what do I want to do? Well, I like wrestling, and I go, I could start a new like he tried to start a new promotion. And it didn't go as what he wanted to. Just kept getting false starts, and then like basically NWA became available to buy, and he goes, I'll just buy that because everybody knows who that is.
Yeah.
So and they closed down for a bit because of COVID. I think they've already started doing stuff again. And then like Nick Aldis, who used to be Magnus, is part of that, and some other decent sized names of like independent wrestlers. It's pretty cool. It's
Yeah.
exciting for as we tune out everybody. They're going, these people are talking about wrestling. What the hell's going on? We're doing burlesque and sideshows.
Do we still have 5? All right, we're down to 4 now.
That's live viewers. That's also live viewers. Like anybody who's lurking, that doesn't necessarily pop up either. So it's like somebody who isn't signed in. So like somebody.
I don't count in that number because I couldn't figure out how to log into Twitch.
Technically, one thing counts for that, but there could be like 10 people on that one view because you're all just searching for a different thing. I know it's really weird. We're back up to 5. So hey, thank you for joining us. And here's the thing about about wrestling. Wrestling is fucking sideshow. I mean, dude, don't make
I feel like you're of the mind that a lot of things are sideshow.
You look historically speaking. And I know, yes, a lot of things are sideshow that most people wouldn't consider, but you have to look at the history of things, and I pay attention to this sort of stuff.
It is a form of live performance that wouldn't be on a main stage, but is still wildly entertaining and can be enjoyed in short bursts.
Yeah, during the vaudeville circuits and stuff like that, there were wrestling exhibitions happening for part of those exhibitions. So there was wrestling part of the sideshow circuits. That's a true thing. That's why I said it is sideshow because it did happen then. But it was the advent of things like TV and stuff like that, and trying to all of that is just kind of shifted away from it. But like way back when, it totally was. And I've long said like my opinion is basically anything left of center is considered sideshow. So, but it's, I love it. but a lot of the stuff, but that's because a lot of that stuff can be traced back to that. So like it's like burlesque is sideshow because you go back to the girly shows, which was part of sideshow. So on and so forth. So that's why I like the Southern sideshow hootenannies because they really with things like Kali and stuff like that kind of really embrace the idea that if looking at that stuff, like even historically speaking, a lot of stuff that gets involved in it, most people go, "What? Why is that?" And you go, "No, this is why." It is still considered sideshow. Now, most people modern think sideshow is stunts and stuff like that, which is still sideshow as well. But I think that's just one aspect that I think people are just focusing on. I think I try to make a point to try to talk about all this other stuff too, because like motor drones, which don't exist anymore, that's sideshow as well. Like watching people like riding motorcycles around the circle.
Yeah.
Animal acts.
Yeah. In much the same way that burlesque has become synonymous with highly costumed striptease, sideshows become synonymous with danger acts, but that's not necessarily what those terms have always meant. Like burlesque incorporated a lot of vaudeville and a lot of satire, and sideshows always incorporated a lot of any kind of entertainment that was, like you said, slightly left of center, and anything that is entertaining that somebody could walk through on the way to the main tent.
Yeah, and or also things like there are also things that maybe a slightly, I don't want to say darker is the wrong way, maybe more adult, because going to the main circus, which is family entertainment, but Dad don't give a shit about clown, but he cares about the weird guy trying to eat a chicken or the little girls doing the hoochie coochie. So that's what that was about. It's like this. A lot of ways, the sideshow is about the people who want to see something a little bit more, regardless of what the more was, and so. And I like it all. I mean, I love the main tent circus stuff. I always make the joke because I look totally circus, but I'm completely sideshow when it comes to my mentality for things. But I love it all.
Yeah.
But anyway, so how long have you been doing? So I know you first got started doing things with burlesque. Burlesque was initially what you started doing, correct?
Yeah. So I fell into burlesque through the world of pinup because I was a pinup model for a while. I was doing like the car shows and the rockabilly shows and that kind of thing. And then I fell into burlesque around 2008, 2009.
Okay.
And then about 7 years ago, I think, I finally started wearing down the sideshow performers in my life and be like, hey, teach me things. Because I've been performing as a burlesque performer in Coney Island for a long time. For just about as long as I've been doing burlesque, I've been a fixture at Coney Island. And that was kind of like a random, like I performed there once and I visited my whole childhood because I'm a native New Yorker, and like there kind of just came a point in my life where they couldn't get rid of me. I wouldn't leave. Uh, so for a while, I was like, hey, I want to learn how to eat fire. 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 And finally, they started taking me seriously. And a couple of people were like, all right, relax. We're going to teach you how to eat fire. Chill out. So that happened, and I learned how to eat fire, and I haven't stopped. Luckily, like my survival instinct is not that strong. So anytime that I can get my hands on something that is apparently dangerous, I'm like, yeah, throw it at me. Let's do this. So
Well, it's apparently you couldn't get rid of fires because your hair turned red because of it. So
right?
Yeah.
I think I discovered comics around the same time and decided that I'm Starfire from Teen Titans, and that's just how it is.
I could see why you would make that kind of carryover for your stuff. So cool. Good for you.
It's obnoxious.
I'm on board. So yeah, I've never made my way that far northeast before. So I've never been to New York. Eventually I'll make my way out there because people keep telling me it's pretty cool. Just don't go during this. I've been told don't go during the summer because everything smells like garbage, and that's what I was told. I go.
It's not inaccurate. Yeah, everything does smell like garbage, but you should still come.
My plan too, like way back in the beginning of the pandemic times, like I wouldn't even go like that far back. I would say back in I think June. What was June? In June, I got Todd Robbins to be on here, and so Todd. Yeah, so I was talking to Todd for a while. Also, not native New Yorker, but he's lived there long enough he can call himself native. But Coney Island aficionado and stuff like that. And we were talking stuff back and forth. And so I go, all right, cool. And we talked about his birthday's 2 days before mine, and so we were having fun chatting about that sort of stuff. And he was doing his This Day in Darkness, which I hope he brings back. But yeah, he also goes, hey, come on up. It'd be really cool. And I go, sure. We'll hang out and just talk about random shit and smoke cigars, and while I be a total goob, whatever. And then I had the brides on here, and the brides go, yeah, totally, come on. Our couch is me couch as Sue couch. I go, all right, then I really no excuse not to come up to these places now. I think once my plan was to travel once masks are no longer necessary, or let me take that after 1 month after masks are no longer necessary.
Yeah.
Just to make sure. That's like, I'm not going to go out to eat in a restaurant until that. I'm not going to go into a bar. I'm not going to do anything involves like a lot of other people until masks are no longer, like 1 month after masks are no longer mandatory, just to be safe. And it's not about me getting sick. It's like I'm the type of person that I would be asymptomatic and inadvertently spread to people, and I feel totally guilty about making somebody else sick. So
I feel you 100%. I've only been like actively interacting with other people since September, and I am on my 8th COVID test. So, I'm really working hard at trying to keep the people around me safe, getting tested regularly, and
I work and
be smart.
I work and I'm around people, but everybody's completely masked up. I don't touch. I have to do a little bit of touching in a weird sort of way because I work in a costume shop, and so people come in and get costumes, and so I very minimal contact with anybody. Wash hands constantly and things like that. I get home, I scrub down, switch, everything so that way everything's cool and groovy. And I mean, so far no issues. I mean, nobody's coming into the shop, but I'm very careful.
Yeah. I feel like if you work, it must be more stressful. Like I'm still unemployed. Like honest, obviously Coney was closed for the season, so I didn't have my regular job, and my fallback job when I'm not performing and when I'm not at Coney is bartending, and
those aren't happening either.
It's not really happening. Although, like, I have a degree I've got a design degree, and hopefully, like when things start picking up again, I'll get back into the corporate world of design eventually. I don't know. It's boring.
But I will say design stuff. But is a another different shout out for you is for all the cool imagery and stuff like that for the Give a Hoot shows. You're the one responsible for doing like all that sort of stuff, which is amazing.
Yeah.
And I totally recommend it. And it's one of those things like it's one of those I both want to use your services myself, but I also kind of want to learn I'm basically trying to teach myself to do that stuff. So I was like, I want to do it, but she's gonna do it better than I will. But I still it's one of those things. It's like that whole I'm taught.
I gotta teach some classes. I've been meaning to
That'd be
do
cool.
like design for performers for years, and what that means
Well,
is continue to evolve. So, yeah,
it's
I gotta
I
know
think
what people need.
well, it's a good thing that we know an organization that does workshops and classes to help do that sort of thing.
I know, right? If only I were the secretary of the board of that organization. Yeah, yeah, I'll probably do a design class through the Southern Sideshow Hootenanny at some time in the not too distant future. I think that now in this age of regular video production, what design means is something a little bit different. Like before, when I was conceptualizing this class, I was thinking like, okay, performers need Facebook cover photos, they need flyers for print, and they need
all
posters.
all that
And
stuff still is valid.
some of it is. We need Facebook cover photos. We need posters. The sizing is different, and the needs of them are different. They're not going to be for print. They're now going to be for Instagram and for regular
Yeah.
Facebook publishing. And that means that we need to work within the algorithm. So text now is suddenly way less important, because if you put too much text on your graphic, it's not going to get picked up on anybody's news feed.
Mm-hmm.
So things like that are important things to think about when we're talking about what design for performers means. Uh, Things like logo stings for videos are suddenly very important, because if we're doing basically nonstop video production, which is what it means to be a performer right now, we need to make that pretty and spicy and fun and give people like an instant pop, something to be really excited about the second they see it. So
Yeah, that's why
yeah,
I got my fun little logo up there of the G within the glass, so people know
it's
when
real
people are
cute.
watching it, they know they're watching this. And then for things for the channel, so that people know they're watching this. And then of course we've got our. I'm also not an idiot. We're making sure we have all of our stuff underneath us as far as for our Instagram and whatnot, so people can go and follow us on
Yeah.
Instagram and look at all the dumb stuff I do and do all the stuff, watch all the awesome stuff you do. So
Living that lower third life.
that's how it works.
Yeah. What are you drinking?
Oh, I am. Everybody knows I'm a big whiskey aficionado, and I actually have a whiskey sponsor for most of my stuff. Like when I started doing live, so I'm part of a sideshow troupe called the Trash Fire Sideshow. And when we're about to get started with that first show, I was going, you know what? We need a liquor sponsor, like liquor or beer or something like that. Because we're all, other than Nick, well, actually at the time, Nick the Vegan wasn't with us. So all five of us that were in the troupe were like, we're all drinkers. So I got, all right, we just need like liquor, beer, or something, because that just makes sense for us. And so, in Houston, this is in Houston. So I hit up as many local like distilleries, breweries, just sent them an email going, hey, we're so and so. Here's some small stuff. And I sent them some clips from some of the people going, here's Scabs the Clown and Cooter Juggins, aka Tifa. Here, this is the type of stuff we do. We like your product. We would love to be sponsored by you guys. And here's like this base, small, tiny. Basically, we would like to work. We would like to establish a working relationship with you people. Can we schedule a meeting and we can go over what would work best for all of us? And I wasn't asking for much. It's like $100 for you. That way, all of us would get like $20, that sort of stuff. That was the extent I was looking for from sponsors. And then we, at whatever bar we were performing at, we would talk it up at the bar and get people to buy it.
Nice.
So this company, Old Humble Whiskey, is out of Humble, Texas, which is just outside of Houston. I sent him, and he goes, "Yeah, it sounds really cool. I'm in." And I go, "Okay, cool." He goes, "Let us meet up." And like he showed up, like he goes, "Well, what's the deal?" I go, "This is the deal." And he showed up the first show, because that's when I met him. Joe Bretta, Old Humble Joe. He sometimes pops up on stuff. I saw him last night. Uh, he came and watched the show. He goes, "This is some of the craziest shit I've ever seen. I love it." And since then, he became really entrenched with the whole like local burlesque and sideshow and comedy scenes and stuff like that. And so it's been my sponsor for all my stuff ever since. Even like during the commercial block before the show started, there's an old level commercial there. But anyway, he got me he's trying out a new recipe for whiskey, and I get to be the beta tester because it's not available in stores. And it's a cold brew coffee whiskey hybrid, and it is lovely.
I feel like I can smell it from here. That sounds so good.
It's like 65 proof ish because he's still playing with the numbers on it. You know, like he's trying to go
Oh yeah.
heavier than some of the others, so it's still got that. It still retains a lot of that coffee taste, so I really like it.
Yeah.
It's good and lovely, and he gave me 2 bottles of it to test out. One's higher proof than the other one, and I don't know which one I started with. I don't know if I started with the higher or the lower proof, but we'll see how it goes.
Either way, it's gonna be a fun night.
Yeah.
What's the difference in the proofs? Like 5%, or like?
I think one's like 65 and one's like, yeah, it's like 5 to 10%. It's not a vast difference, but that's
Yeah.
the proofage. But if he maintains the same level of coffee, like that coffee mixture, but he adds the proof, it's going to change that that taste ratio a little bit
Yeah.
more than anything. I mean, some people it may affect more. I don't know. I mean, I half joke to say I'm a professional drinker, and they go, "Ha ha ha, that's funny." I go, "No, I know, really. I get paid to drink. That's what I do. Like whenever he does whiskey festivals, I usually come out and I talk to people. He hires me on to talk about whiskey, and then I do like mousetrap tricks and get people to drink whiskey. And
You're like a booth babe.
I'm kind of yeah.
Yeah.
But I get free tickets to these whiskey festivals, and so I drink lots of different types of whiskey, which is kind of cool. So I don't just drink this whiskey. I go, all right, cool. Then I'm gonna go walk around, and then I mean there are places that have like 50 or 60 different types of whiskey, and I tried most of them.
Hell yeah.
It's always a good time. So that's
my old place of employment, Dugal Greenhouse, does have a whiskey festival. I think it's run by Jameson. You should look into.
actually what's weird is I was talking to old little Joe last night because I was going, hey, yeah, I'm talking to my friend Kita, and we were talking about whiskey, and like that's what I found, and stuff like that. And he goes, oh yeah, Old Umble is available to get in New York now. You just have to contact your local liquor store, and they you can let me know off air what your local liquor store. I can send it to him, and he can badger about getting it there.
I feel like I've seen the name Old Umble around. So
well, yeah, because watching any of my shows, you have.
No, but I mean, like in liquor stores, like I feel like places are starting to stock it up here.
I'll ask, but yeah, I'll find. I think he has gotten 1 or 2 stores up there because somebody you could be living near one of the people that he talked to basically he talked to somebody because he has his own little talk show, and he found out where because he sent them a bottle. But through the address, he did a reverse search to see what liquor stores were near them, and I think he may have contacted those liquor stores. So you might be close to where we're able to get to.
It's totally possible.
So that could be why, but it's one of those. Yeah, just let me know offhand. I'll make sure a bottle gets to you regardless. But we'll see about trying to get it up there, especially if you like it, which I think you will. The special reserve is what I love, which is like it's when it's aged a little bit longer, so it's a little bit smoother. He has there's a straight whiskey, which is good. I like it. Usually I do it with ice, or I use it really good as a mixer. I like my little Devil's Brew cocktail, which is amazing. I usually use it with.
Oh wait, what's in your Devil's Brew cocktail?
All right, so okay, this is what it is. It's yeah, take notes. It's 2 parts whiskey. Usually a straight rye is good. Then it's a 1 part vermouth. I prefer a sweet vermouth, but you can go dry. And then you do half a part of absinthe.
Ooh.
And a couple of splashes of bitters. I prefer a cherry bitters or a chocolate bitters. But
okay.
Regular, I guess. But yeah, that's.
This is brave.
It's good. I'm not.
Yeah.
I really like. That's like usually. That's like usually depending on how much time. If I have time to kill before I have to start doing the devils, because I decided I wanted to make my own like kind of signature coffee liquor drink, and so I was looking and I like the idea of doing whiskey and I don't know why I got in the idea of doing it with absinthe. I don't know why. I just like got in my head. I go, you know what, whiskey and absinthe sounds kind of cool. And then I
It-
found a similar.
It's like a death in the afternoon wasn't enough. It needs to be like a murder in the afternoon. It's like.
And so I came across. This is a variation on an older cocktail called the Sherman's cocktail, based from General Sherman, who did a very similar thing, except he used was it like everything because I prefer more sweet stuff, so I went sweet vermouth. I did his was like a weird, like almost like a really harsh corn whiskey, not even like, and then plus the dry vermouth, and then still with absinthe. So I went, you know what, I'm gonna do like either a rye or like even a bourbon would be fine. Because I like sweeter things, so that's why I went like this. And I went absinthe, and it's just, I mean, it's store bought absinthe. It's not like I'm getting high off of it, unfortunately. Just kidding.
What is your absinthe of choice?
I bought absinthe, not absinthe. I'm gonna step away because I don't remember the bottle's name. But I can still hear you.
Cool. I can still hear you too. I believe in you.
Because I had to base on what my liquor store had available, so sometimes that's just how it works. So I did the absinthe ordinaire, which is not
okay.
It's a good mid-range, so as far as price and everything. So I've had bathtub absinthe before too, and
like literally absinthe someone made in their bathtub.
Well, yeah, this is okay. So so it shows my age, because for a while absinthe was completely illegal. You couldn't even buy the fake stuff.
Yeah, it just got legalized when I was like 21. So
this is before then.
Yeah,
I was probably like 27 or 28. So it was a couple of years before I think something was like that, and like it was really woody. Like that was like a bitter, woody taste, and like I drank it, and I was going, yeah, this is. It was like burning 2 sugar cubes to make that thing palatable, because that's the old school way of doing absinthe. Was because you did the sugar because it tasted so bitter.
Yeah.
But yeah, no green fairies, nothing like that. I was really disappointed. 0 stars. Some of the people I was with couldn't even drink it at all. But I'm a true. I just went, no, I'm having it. If I can get drunk and weird on this, I'm gonna try it. And
you know, that's the one thing absinthe does promise, even if you're not seeing any green fairies, is you'll probably get drunk and weird.
There's easier ways, but I still. But like the thing with this, I just like the idea of making like a signature cocktail that involved like whiskey and absinthe. And so I went, all right, cool, this is what I'm gonna do. And then like doing things like a cherry bitters and a chocolate bitters versus a regular aromatic, I thought was a much cooler way to go. And I love
that. Sounds like a really nice palette altogether.
When I make
chocolate cherry and that anise, that must be really nice.
It's really nice. And then you do something like you do a sweet vermouth, so it's a nice. It's not quite desserty because it's still got that whiskey punch, but it's a nice sweet. It's a little softer edge, so you can drink it a lot more casually. You don't feel like you're gonna kill yourself going whiskey. It's a cool like fun drink, and so I really like it a lot. I totally recommend it.
I'm gonna try that. I'm not a big sweet fan. I drink like I'm about to go buy a pickup truck and a hound dog, but you know, it's nice to take a vacation from that every once in a while. So, in between straight bourbon, it can like get a little ride.
What you might do, like I said, I use a sweet vermouth. You might want to go with like a maybe just more dry, so that way it's not you'll quite as sweet.
I feel like that what you're talking about, like an absinthe, if it's like something a little bit of a spicier absinthe, like even a jade, but maybe not a jade because you don't want to use jade in a cocktail, but like Manson's absinthe, actually, and I hate that I said that, but Manson's would probably be great with a Knob Creek bourbon, a dry vermouth, and then a chocolate and cherry bitters, or even just like a chocolate bitters and some Manson is not that bad. with some
I don't.
cold water and some sugar, it's actually pretty solid.
Oh yeah, the Marilyn Manson one.
Yeah.
Is it that one?
Uh-huh.
I've seen it before, and I've thought of it. It's one of those. It's one of those. I look at it and I go, I don't know.
It's not like it's very easy to see Manson's name on something and be like, but actually it's pretty good.
I know it's so it's one of those things
Yeah.
I like any kind of vanity labels for stuff. I'm always kind of leery on in general because a lot of times
Yeah.
people just sell their name to put their more shit out, and then I mean there's exceptions. I mean especially in the liquor is filled with these people, uh,
Mhm.
like P Diddy and Ciroc and who's
PDD Ciroc is crap. George Clooney's
it's
Casamigos is
horrible.
solid.
That
Like,
is solid.
yeah,
Aviation Gin, Ryan Reynolds. Aviation Gin is pretty solid
it's
because I
pretty
think
solid. Yeah.
he's into it. Crystal Vodka from Dan Aykroyd. It's a cool
It comes in a
bottle.
really pretty bottle.
It's a cool bottle.
Bottle's great.
But that's why. But that's why. And then I had the Metallica blackened whiskey.
Oh, I've never had that. How is it?
It's very woody.
Okay.
It's a lot more peaty. It's a lot more, like, in my opinion. It tastes a lot more scotchy than it does whiskey, in my opinion, because it's very woody. And
All
but
right.
I love the story about it that makes me worthwhile because it basically part of their aging process for the whiskey is they put speakers around the barrels and play Metallica music on it to help age it.
It's so dumb. It's so dumb, but I love that.
Hey, no, you can clean clothes by sound too. So it's one of those things. I go,
Mhm.
oops, I don't know, but Cabo Wabo tequila is pretty good.
Okay.
That's Sammy Hagar.
All right.
Yeah,
Into it. Cabo
yeah, so,
Wabo.
yeah. I pay attention to that sort of stuff. It's one of the but
Yeah.
the man sense. I go now that I know that I go, all right, cool. It's more old school absinthe with the whole
It
sugar and stuff like that. I go,
yeah,
okay, I'm kind of on board.
it tastes like an absinthe that was made by someone who's a fan of absinthe but hasn't dedicated their life to the craft. You know?
Well,
It's like that.
well, this here, which is still tasty, but it's palatable, so you could drink it on its own.
Yeah.
It's just very licoricey taste, but it's not like as like true absinthe where you do need like, all right, cool, I got to burn that sugar to make it palatable. Which
I
sounds
mean,
like
you never really need to burn the sugar as long as you're doing like if it's a decent absinthe, some cold water, some sugar cubes,
uh,
a good spoon, you're probably going to be okay.
probably, but the reason it just makes it makes the sugar liquid, makes it blend better. That's really all it does.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
just you
and
just throw in some
and
simple
part of
syrup
the
and do the same thing.
ritual
Yeah,
also just makes that feel special. Yeah.
yeah.
I'm
No,
never mad at setting things on fire. Let's do it. Let's burn
that's
some
true.
sugar.
Yeah, I'm a weird person. I'm not against fire, but it's one of the things I'm the type of person who gets hot really quick, and so the idea of working with fire just makes me feel really hot, and I just don't like that. I
Oh,
keep. I mean, it's not a bad thing. Like I mean, because Scaz breathes fire, so I'm around him a lot, and I know a lot of fire people out of the Houston area. And so I go, I'm cool with it happening, but like me, I've never had a desire to learn it because the idea of dealing with hot with this heat has just never intrigued me. I always make
yeah.
the joke. I go, if you figure out a way to do that with cold, I'm on board. If I could breathe cold,
You
I
don't
would
know
love to
about
breathe
that
frost.
cold fire? Because the audiences all know about the cold fire. They're convinced that we're breathing cold fire.
Uh,
We're eating cold fire. Now, what is your sideshow poison of choice?
what I like to do?
Yeah, like
Uh,
what's your favorite thing?
what I like to do, like, so when I first got started, so like first I got started just being the host and doing stuff like that, and then then one day I went, I'm going to get into doing some weird sideshow stuff, and then doing my research and stuff in some way to make it easy. I went, you know what, I'm going to do I didn't want to get hurt. That was the idea. I want to do sideshow, but I want to be hurt. How can I do that? I went, you know what, I can do mentalism. I can do magic. I can do that sort of stuff because that's all stuff that happens in the sideshow stuff. So I said, all right, I'm going to do that, and that's what it started, and then. We were doing a photo shoot for the trash fire, and then I took my first mousetrap during then. She's like, all right, cool, I'll do a mousetrap. They tell you, go here, this is how you do it. And I went, all right, cool, that's not that bad. And then I started putting it all over. I going, all right, cool, let's try ear. Ow, that hurts. And eyebrow really hurt. Of all things I've done my mousetrap on me so far, eyebrow hurts the worst.
Yeah, that sounds pretty painful, actually.
Yeah, you think about it, I do shot like a bar. Part of my bar tricks now is I go to back when I could go to bars. I do a couple of I would either do card. I do a couple of dumb card tricks that I know. I'm not great at them. I know a couple pretty well enough that drunk people are impressed. Uh, my magician friends go, "Oh, that's so sweet. You're like 7," and I was going. All the drunk people think it's great. Bartenders give me free drinks when I do that trick. It's just that sort of stuff. I'm not trying to go and fool us. I'm just trying to get a free drink, or at least get a better drink. But yeah, then I do mousetrap tricks, and then I got into eating glass, and then just stuff like that. And I was busy trying to kind of incorporate more stuff into things. Like my goal is like if I do mentalism, I want to do mentalism, but I want to add in sideshow elements. And so with the hoot, I did a card trick, but instead of just using cards, I used professional grade rat traps that were live. And it was like just a second sight sort of thing where I was blindfolded and I tried to guide somebody through this maze of cards without seeing them to get to the one trap that didn't go off.
Oh, cool.
But due to my own ineptitude, because I put I mixed up a couple of traps. I hit the wrong one, so my hand got caught in a rat trap. But that's the great thing about the trick is the fact is that regardless, if I win, awesome, everybody loves it. If I don't, my hand gets in a rat trap and the audience still loves it. So it's still a win. So that's why I created that trick. I basically went, I'm going to do this because it doesn't matter if it succeeds or not. Everybody's going to be entertained.
Yeah.
So now it's more of that sort of stuff. But I just had more fun doing that because not a lot of people are doing that sort of stuff in sideshows. So I figured I'm going to do that sort of thing. And yeah, there's magicians who are doing like Louis and funny guy Eddie and like Mysterion. I do stuff too, but their racket is a different sort of thing than way I was approaching it. So I went, all right, cool. Let's basically go, here's a neat trick. How can I interact? I'm working on a card trick that involves broken glass, like walking through broken glass. Just because I figured that's going to be interesting.
Love it.
That's what I do. Is I do that sort of stuff, or I just sit on stage and I talk about whoever's going to come on stage and I hype the bar. That's usually what I do. That's where I make more money is telling dumb jokes and quips with the audience, stalling for time, and then hyping the bar.
That's half of what I do. Also, I feel you.
That's usually it's me, and so that's why I every time I go to the show, I walk in and go, hey, I'll make sure I know who the bartenders are. And I go, all right, like if there's not a specific special going on, or if I'm not there to hype. Like if Old Humble's at the bar, I'm gonna hype Old Humble because they pay me money to do that. But if it's a place they don't have Old Humble, then I go to the bar. And go, all right, cool. What do you have a lot of? Like, what do you mean? Like, what are you running heavy on?
What are you trying to sell? What do you need to get rid of?
I go, what's your specials? Or do you have something you're heavy on that you want me to push? And they go, what?
Yeah.
I go, trust me, I can do it. I go, and they go, hey, can you do it for $5? And they go, something you can do for, I always say, something you can do for like a $5 shot or something. And they go, yeah, here it says. Like, all right, cool. So I go on stage. Yeah, make sure you grab the blah, blah, blah drink. It's 2 for $10. One for you, one for me.
I love that. I do a version of that where I'm like, I'm a pretty girl, so I know it's gonna land. So like I'll go on stage. I'm one of the MCs for my show, for Oddworld Danger Show. I host one half and Romeo hosts the other half. And a lot of the times when I'm hosting, I will lead with a overshare from my sex life, which is great. It's stupid. I usually tell the pizza story, which is delightful and a little bit disgusting. And I think you're like, and halfway through the set that I'm hosting, I'm like, blah, blah, blah. And I'm doing tequila shots because the way to a girl's heart is through her tequila shot or whatever shot it is. I'm talking up whatever it is I'm trying to push from the bar, talking up how much I want what I'm trying to push from the bar. And by the end of my set, someone's bought me one, but everyone's bought one for themselves. Right? Because
Yeah, no, yeah. I got off stage one day doing this, and I shit you not, I had 9 shots waiting for me.
yeah, I love that.
And I'm a fucking professional, and I did them all.
I usually don't do that.
And I'm halfway. This is only halfway through the show. Like basically, so, all right, cool. Because I'm going on. Because when we first started doing it, it was like because like I only had a couple acts, while everybody else was a lot more prolific. So I go, all right, cool. I'll do the hosting because that's the heavy lifting I know I can do. I can't. I got 3 tricks that I can do, and I can't do that every show. So I go, all right, cool. I'm learning stuff all the time, but I go, all right. I lost that people are just talking, and then I talk at the bar, and like literally one day I go, all right, cool, we got Old Umbo whiskey, it's 2 for $10 at the bar, 1 for you, 1 for me. It's gonna be great. You're having a great time. If you want, I'll do the shot. I'll do the shot with you and stuff like that. Literally, I got off stage, and literally there were 9 shots. At least 3 of them were doubles, and literally what I did, like,
good audience,
dude, like. I drank them all, and I remember the entire night. And I got up. I've never had a hangover. I still haven't. I went to sleep. Got up 4 hours later. I was ready to go again. So that's how I am. So we just got a little time, but like it's dawned on me, like, yeah, you're part of a sideshow group, which is the Odd World Danger Show.
Yeah.
I saw the stuff this past week for Give a Hoot, and then I've seen a little bit of stuff online because I'm the weird guy who. Because part of the Devil's Hours, I troll the internet just looking for everything and weird stuff. So, but it's like because I love it, and I love that sort of stuff. So it's literally like I find cool stuff and I throw it on the show. But let's talk a little bit. So, so the Oddworld Danger Show. Who's on? It's you and
it's the core members are me, Romeo the Dapper Daredevil. It's his brainchild. He created Oddworld Danger Show. I am like the associate producer, although I feel like it's more like he's director and producer type. And then Graham Cracker Stockdale, who is an insane fire performer. He tap dances with his feet on fire. He's incredible at vapor tricks. He's so much fun. And then we have a couple of members that kind of flow in and out. Like Betsy Propane is a regular at Oddworld Danger Show. Cyclone Jack Sullivan, Lorraine the Thrill,
I know Jack,
and then he's awesome. But yeah, and then a bunch of regular New York burlesque performers that have made guest spots with us. But I would say like the 6 of us are what makes Oddworld Danger Show. The 3 of us travel together. Yeah, it's a good time.
Yeah, I met both. I met Betsy this past year at the Hoot Nanny, and I met Jack last year at the Hoot. I think he was just into watching. Like, we remembered each other this year, and we ended up like because he was at the performer lunch dinner before everything started. He ended up coming to that, and then after the show, we went bar hopping together, and we ended up like we went like 2 or 3 open mics, and I went on stage and told some stories, did mousetrap tricks to get people to come to the Hoot. And
awesome.
So the host and the bartender from one of the bars came to the show. So I'm going.
Oh yeah.
I did, so.
Yeah. It's a good time. We got a lot of good people as part of the umbrella.
No, it's really good. I mean, there's a lot of good names in there, and I totally recommend people who are in the New York area whenever it happens again, or you're in other areas. Like Hot Todd Lincoln on the chat goes, I love performing with you 3 in DC. So yeah, if you're on the East Coast.
Yeah. Hot Todd Lincoln came through in the clutch in DC. He like was running the door and also did a dope performance set like right after intermission. It's so cool. And showed up very appropriately in our colors. So great. Yeah, he does his research.
Or it's also a weird thing that it also could have been completely coincidental, which has just worked out.
Could be. We're all black, white, and red, just like all of Sideshow. So.
See, I'm not. I rock purple. I mean, I do red, but that's more for the Devil's Hour. But I rock a lot. I usually rock purple and stuff. So
Yeah.
usually like back in the before times where I shaved them, I usually just have a nice little purple goatee. But
I used to be all about the pink, white, yellow, and turquoise. It's like what my regular daytime wear is like, but then I started becoming a part of Oddworld, and suddenly everything is stripes in black, white, and red. So,
that's fair. That's
yeah, it's like a sideshow cult. It's fun.
It's a very easy thing to fall down. And then the other thing that you have going on, which I put the link underneath your picture, is the Latinx Burlesque Fest.
Yeah.
I'm completely excited by, because it like I saw the lineup of people, and I know like half a dozen people in that show, which I'm really happy by, because
we have 23 performers in that weekend of shows. It's ridiculous. It's some of everybody's favorite burlesque performers from throughout the country. Like, we held auditions for what was going to be a live show earlier this year, and just stacked the cast with amazing fucking performers. And then COVID hit, and we had to shut down Coney for the season, and now we're still in like a relative state of lockdown, and we're like, let's just do a virtual show. Everyone's doing really cool virtual stuff, and we've learned from what works and what doesn't, and
well, yeah,
let's make a show. So we're doing it, and we have some incredible names like Egypt Black Nile, who is she's so good. She's the performer who's won more titles in burlesque than anyone in history. And she's performing in our wacky little festival, which I love. And Bella Sin, who is like also the queen of Ohio burlesque, and Lola Coquette and Ruby Champagne, and just like icons of the burlesque scene. So I'm really excited about it. And we've got some live performances streaming from Coney Island on the Friday and Saturday night. Yeah, it's going to be really cool.
So I'm excited. Yeah, so everybody go to latinxburlesquefest.com, grab your tickets, and watch this amazing show. I will be tuning in on occasion for that stuff, because fortunately some of the shows are happening during other shows that are happening, so I can't.
Yeah, it's 4 days of shows. It's a lot, but you can catch one or two.
But Keita, I believe you're on Friday night, right?
Yeah, so I am running tech for the Thursday night, where Nelson Lugo's hosting. It's going to be all pre-recorded performances that night, except for Nelson, who's performing live. And then I'm performing Friday. I'm going to do some fire on the Coney Island stage. And I'm doing my love letter to Puerto Rico that night. And then I'm hosting Saturday night.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I'm doing a workshop on Sunday. So basically, like, if you're tuning in, you're going to see my face. Can't get rid of me.
So I definitely recommend it. I am definitely. I'm going to catch. I think I'm going to catch Friday, and I'm going to try to drag as many people that are part of the happy hour to go. No, we're not doing this week. We're going to watch that and just.
Oh, that'd be so cool.
I'm not going to stream it for everybody else, because they got to buy their own ticket, because
yeah,
we can afford it. No, we can't afford it, but we can make that shit work, because it's worthwhile. Support our friends. Yeah, like I think Saturday night, May Hemmers on Saturday, and I've known May forever, and so it's like when I saw that lineup, like, oh hey, I know May, because like Coco Barbie.
Yes.
I've done shows with her, and I know her like pre-burlesque days, so it's like weird kind of go, oh hey.
Oh, cool. Yeah, Mayhemmer's amazing, just so incredible.
Yeah, I produced and hosted a nerdlesque show for an anime convention, and they go, all right, cool, here's your budget. Who do you want? I go, I want May, because I know she does a lot of cosplay stuff, and it's really cool to have an anime convention where you have representation as far as performers. So I went, it's like May was the first person I thought of. I go, I know she does cosplay, and they don't, there's not enough representation when it comes to like nerdlesque, that sort of stuff. So I knew it would be down for that. And then there was one person they asked, Emma Dilemma. I was asked to have Emma Dilemma because she has a particular act she does, and I go, well, then of course Emma. Well, of course I love Emma. If you don't know Emma Dilemma is an amazing rope performer. She did bottle walking this last year at the Hoots.
Oh yeah, I saw some of her video.
Oh yeah,
bottle walking. Yeah.
she does an amazing rope act for Ariel that is with like a Deadpool act, and it's done to the song from Deadpool 2, so that Celine Dion song. She does an amazing act for it, so it's amazing. And then I brought in some other people that was really just I make sure it was really inclusive. One, because I thought it'd be cool, and two, is I go, these are people I like anyways. I basically go, oh, here's all my friends from across the nation that I'm getting paid money to hang out with them and let people see that who they are. So it was really fun. But no, yeah, Mayhemmer Saturday. I totally recommend it. I probably won't be catching it, but I'll probably get a hold of that just because that's because it's next weekend, right?
It is the 17th, 18th, 19th, and 20th.
Oh, yeah, because I can't make I can't do the Saturday just because I'll have this show and I'll be talking to Chris Christ. So
awesome, Chris Christ.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
We've become fast friends. About once a quarter now, we start, basically bring him on. We talk stories. Yeah, it's been a long time. Like, it's just great talking with him, and he's really humble about stuff because nobody wants to hear me all the time. I go, dude, everybody wants to hear you all the time. I know what you're talking about. I'm happy. I've yet to. I haven't met him physically. I just went like this. The only reason why I was asking about next week is next week, me and Scabs are going to be tag teaming a show together where we'll be talking to Captain and Maybell.
Awesome.
So basically,
I love those two. They're so great.
Basically, people can tune in to watch the four of us slowly get drunk and talk about dumb stuff, and that's really what it's going to be. I'll try to hold the serious conversations for a little bit until the drinks really hit hard for everybody, and then who knows what's going to happen. Got to tune in to find out.
Yeah.
But thank you so much, Kita, for being a part of the show. I completely appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome to come on whenever you want. You got something to plug, or you just go, hey, I got nothing better to do. Basically, if you haven't heard me going, hey, Jeff, so do you have a guest yet? No? Can I come back on? Sure. I mean, you're always welcome on. You're always welcome. I'm always happy to promote anything you have to do. So whenever that comes up, I'll throw it on all the shows I have doing stuff, or just keep telling people, go, no, you need to talk to, no, you need to, you're sleeping on this. You need to be on board. Yeah. So eventually get some weird drag fans out of Austin, because those are the people I know more. It's weird. I moved here a year ago going, all right, cool. I'll use the central location. There's a lot of old schooler, there's weird, old school, Cyr people who live here, but they don't see people. All right, cool. Then I hang out with some of the burlesque people, which I do, but most of them have lives and families. So I have a dog. You know my dog.
Little Shinobi.
He's passed out asleep right next to me. So I go, all right.
That's why he's so quiet.
Well, it's just that, I fed him, and so he's happy for now, and he's close, and I'm actually sitting on a place where he can be near me versus when we do the Hoot Happy Hour, stuff like that. I'm not on a bar, so it's a little higher up. So I'm on my couch, so he's accessible. So it's I don't have really people to hang out with, and I get, a lot of the drag people, I mean, they don't have kids, or they can hang when it comes to lifestyle stuff in a weird sort of way as far as drinking and talking. So I've been hanging out with a lot of drag people lately. So you might see some more drag people pop up in your feed at some point, which you should.
I love that.
There are a lot of drag. Here in Austin alone has an amazing drag scene. There's amazing drag scenes everywhere, but it was really surprising how big the drag scene was here until I moved here. Yeah. I work with 3 drag queens at the shop I work at. So
I've never been to Texas. Is that true? It's true still. And we're tentatively, assuming the world is reopened by then, booked in Texas at the end of March. So
what part of Texas?
I think it's San Antonio.
It's an hour from me because I live in Austin.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But we drive down, so we'll be in the school bus driving on down.
Oh, that's right. That's fine. Yeah, no, yeah. Let me. Once that's for real. Because that's what it is going.
Yeah, because who knows what's going to happen even next week, right?
I'll make sure and do stuff, and maybe by then everything's it's cool enough. Maybe it's that 1 month past having to worry about mask stuff, and we'll just hang out in general. We're gonna hang out in general, but maybe there might be some live shows going on with the chat, and I'll chat with all you guys together, but actually be one room versus windows.
That'd be awesome.
And Hot Todd Lincoln just goes, yeah, if you're making your way down, if you go anywhere near Baltimore, you can stay at his place.
Oh, hell yeah. Thanks, Todd. Yeah. Like, I feel like there's a lot of sleeping space on the bus, but I'm sure we're gonna want to get off the bus every once in a while.
Sometimes
So
a real bed is a real bed. So
yeah, true. Facts.
yeah. So sometimes you get, or at the very least, like a proper shower.
Yeah. Space to unpack and repack.
Yeah, that's yeah. You're set up in Texas no matter what, regardless whether it's here in Austin, Houston, because I know Scabs will make sure you're taking care of in the Houston area, and I've
Yeah.
got plenty of ties in the Dallas area to help out with, like, whether it's burlesque or sideshow, because like Artie Dodger lives up there, Amanda Levin lives up there.
Oh,
There's
cool.
lots of fun people. I know some cool magicians up there too, so it's a lot of fun. So you guys are welcome to come down this way, and then of course whenever the world gets right again, and I do as I'm trying to drag Chris Broken and Scabs to do like a weird East Coast tour, we'll make sure to hit New York and hang out with you guys,
Yes, please.
because I'm learning more and more people to do so. But anyway, thank you guys so much for being a part of the show and watching this stuff, and thank you once again, Sakita. I don't want to take up all your time, or at least on air. I mean, we can chat afterwards. And I'm gonna. It won't let me. So what I'm going to do, so you guys give me a moment. We're going to vamp for a second. So in the chat, if anybody wants to join us, I'm going to throw. Why are you being difficult?
Oh, internet, get it together.
It's actually my own figure's fault, so it's fair.
Todd's like, I want to chat. Hey, Todd, what's up?
I knew he would. That's why I say wait like this. But I'm going to make an open call for anybody else who wants to be on, because I think people are going to be on there, be down for it, because they need like some of the
I'm gonna run and grab another beer really quick.
Perfectly fine. I'm gonna finish out stuff here. I'm gonna throw the stuff on. I'm gonna throw the credits out, and we'll get out of here. Once again, thank you so much, Peta, and we'll see everybody soon.